go with Gary Flynn.
Yay, Gary!
Gary.
Give it up for Gary Flynn. Oh, I thought that was for me. Okay, fine.
Thank you, Chair.
No problemo.
Just the mic, so
I'm on frame.
mic needs a little adjusting.
Whoa, careful with that. I
Get it?
got that specifically set to my dimensions.
Well, right now it's pointing at my chest instead of my mouth.
Can you guys hear him? Can you hear him okay?
Yeah.
I get a yeah?
Yeah.
So they can hear you. You don't even need a mic. That's all for show right there.
Right? Would you rather not?
Or perhaps you can sit in the chair.
You know, I do wonder if we hear pretty good when people are talking without a mic. I don't know though, whatever.
Let's see. Okay, I'll sit down
Yeah,
there.
I think
Is it, this is a very
It has a
good.
good aesthetic, you know, you sitting down.
By the way, how do you
good.
like this shirt?
Oh yeah, great shirt.
What does it say?
Let me-
I
let me
picked it up
zoom in
at
there.
the US 23 Drive-In Theater for its Bricks Flicks.
Nice.
Oh,
The
wow.
10th Bricks Flicks that was held with a movie after the car show.
Was that the US 23 or
At the
something?
US 23 Drive-In Theater.
Wow, that's the only drive-in theater around, isn't it?
The only
Like
one
in
still
the
operating.
country. I don't.
In the immediate Flint area.
So what was the movie?
American Graffiti.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but they have new movies there too, I think.
Yeah, they have 3 screens with double features,
Wow,
all
3
first-run
screens.
movies.
I didn't know they had 3. I thought they had 2.
Yeah. Yeah, they added a 3rd screen when the current management took over.
Well, the sociopaths don't have to talk to each other. We don't have to get out. We can just sit in
Yeah.
our car and look at our phones.
Right. No in-car speakers hanging from the window because everything's on FM stereo sound.
Cool.
So do foreigners own it now?
Oh, no, the Johnny Thomas.
What kind of question is that?
I mean, not that it matters.
And I think later on, check your listings for Channel 19 WDCQ, that's QTV. They're going to replay the US 23 Drive-In Theater documentary called More Than a Movie, which I am in.
Oh, you're in a movie?
In a documentary from QTV about the US 23 Drive-In Theater.
How much did they pay you?
I just showed up and they interviewed me.
So they suckered you.
I don't mind being suckered. In fact, I'm on another QTV documentary about Flint, the 20th century.
Yeah.
I appeared for a few seconds during the sequence about the ill-fated auto world.
yes.
So that's worth watching, so check your listings again.
They need to do a hood episode.
They've done those, so again, check your listings.
Check your listings.
Well, I don't have the TV listings handy, but I'm sure you can go online to QTV and see what's coming up.
Cool.
Fine.
Let me know and I'll post it on the Creative Alliance Facebook page.
Okay. Of course, you can always go to the Delta Broadcasting website for their on-screen program guide online.
Okay, cool.
But I was also,
I will check my listings.
yes, last Saturday at the Baxter Bricks downtown, I rode my classic Raleigh 10-speed over there. I took over 50 photos and shared them on my Hidden History of Flint Facebook page, as well as the Facebook pages for the Flint River Trail and Jersey Valley Trail. Since I took the Flint River Trail to head to downtown and the Jersey Valley Trail to head back home. And
Nice.
yesterday I was in Saginaw because the Castle Museum, which is historic in itself in downtown Saginaw, in the former post office, had a book club discussion about my first book, Remembering Flint, Michigan, which turned out nice. And afterwards, the facilitator, who works over at the Hoyt Library next door, took me on a tour along with Yvonne up to the historic Hoyt Library in downtown Saginaw. And speaking of libraries, before I got here, the Flint Public Library unveiled their proposal to extensively renovate the Flint Public Library and the Cultural Center.
Yay!
More renovations.
Yep, to make the 60-year-old building more up-to-date and current. with state-of-the-art heating and energy-efficient windows.
Nice.
And there's going to be a ballot proposal in November to help pay for it.
November, you know the proposal number?
I forget, but just
Check my local listings, got it.
yeah. Now, as you know, I'm working on a new book to come out in 2021 called Lost Flint, and I got 2 sections, drafts, which may be revised before the book comes out with more material, and it's about places lost in the late 1970s to new development. I'm calling both of these Lost to Progress. The first places lost to progress were to make way for the Riverbank Park Flood Control Project. Again, this is just a draft. The Flint River is prone to seasonal flooding, which still occurs in Flint parks. But serious flooding from that river caused property damage in 1904, 1916, 1938, 1942, and especially in 1947, which led to plans to control property damage flooding of that river. The first project was the acquisition of land in 1950 along the Genesee and Lapeer County line near Columbiaville, with the construction of the Holloway Dam, which created the Holloway Reservoir. Next came the paving of the Flint riverbed by the Army Corps of Engineers from the 3rd Street, now University Avenue / Sunset Drive Bridge, to where Swartz Creek branches off at the Grand Trunk Railway bridges, now occupied by the Genesee Valley Trail bridges, utilizing the old railroad bridge piers, passing through the old Chevy in the Hole manufacturing complex site, which is now parkland called Chevy Commons. It's called Chevy Commons on the south side of the river. Kennedy University claimed the old Chevy in the Hole north of the river for a campus expansion. But city officials held out for something more attractive in the downtown area rather than the stark concrete bed. To make way for what became Riverbank Park, the following buildings had to come down. On North Saginaw Street, the most unusual of Flint's buildings was the Center Building, which was at 201 North Saginaw, which was built above the Flint River circa 1925. Next to it was more closed at the corner of North Saginaw and First Avenue. Across the street was the Walsh Building, built circa 1910 at 310 to 320 North Saginaw. On South Saginaw Street, Shiapassi Candy Kitchen, I hope I pronounced this right. What's that?
Shippecassie.
Shippecassie, thank you. Shippecassie Candy Kitchen was a Flint landmark dating back to 1886 at 103 South Saginaw. But on February 1971, Albert Shippecassie reluctantly closed that candy store. He died the following June. Sharing that building dating back to 1912 was Coles & Company at 107 South Saginaw, which began as a jewelry store which evolved into an optical office. The large neon eyeglasses suspended over the sidewalk was the local landmark. Across the street was Satan's Bookstore and U.S. Coney Island. Along East Water Street were the Silver Rail Bar and a Sears warehouse. West Water Street had the famous Motor Lodge, the Flint Vending Company, the Addressograph Multigraph Workshop, Flint Autograph, Flint Auto Glass, Wright Brothers Collision, and Bill Carr Signs. First Avenue had Typewriter Exchange and an Eagles Hall. Garland Street had Flint Business Machines, a barber shop, and a cleaning business. Harrison Street had the Flint Home Furnishings Warehouse. By 1976, all the structures mentioned above were demolished. Plans for the beautification of the Riverbank Park Flood Control Project were designed by Lawrence Halpern and Associates. It was completed in 1979 and dedicated with a free concert by Rick Nelson at the newly completed amphitheater. And now for the other place lost to progress shortly afterwards, places lost to the Hyatt Regency Hotel. In 1978, plans were announced for a Hyatt Regency Hotel along the downtown riverfront, which forced the closing of the last of the downtown Coney Island restaurants, which are located near the Flint River. Flint Original Coney Island, which was a part of downtown Flint since 1925. Another noted business was the Mad Hatter Hat Shop, which was forced to move. Another doomed building was the relocated Royal Theater, which was an adult theater, which was in the aforementioned Rialto Theater before it was torn down in 1973 to make way for a Citizens Bank Tower. But it also led to the loss of two notable historic buildings. One was the 8-story Commerce Building, which was built in 1925 to house Kobacker's Furniture. It was noted for its intricate brickwork. After the furniture store closed, it was converted into an office building, first called the MacArthur Building, then the Commerce Building. The main floor was last used by Citizens Bank as a credit card processing center. The other notable building was a 4-story structure built by the Dort Motor Company in 1916 as a showroom for its vehicles at the corner of Water and Beach Streets. In 1923, that building was sold and for the rest of its existence functioned as a furniture store. The freight elevator, which was large enough to haul cars, was equally suitable for moving large furniture. It was first home for Weingarten's Furniture until it closed in 1962. Other furniture stores took over the space, and Pierce Furniture was the final business in that building until it was torn down along with the rest of the buildings in the Hyatt Regency Path in 1979. Completed and opened in 1981, the 16-story Hyatt Regency was built for $30 million and boasted 369 rooms with a ballroom that can hold 1,200 people. A decade later, it was converted into the Radisson Hotel, then Ramada in 1999. In 2000, a Christian organization calling itself the Institute of Basic Life Principles, based in Illinois, bought the hotel and converted it into the Riverfront Character Inn. The management forbid drinking, smoking, rock music, and adult movies. Housing the Verity University, it operated for 5 years. But then the Institute of Basic Life Principles put the hotel back on the market in 2005 and was in limited use from that point onward. There was an unsuccessful attempt in 2007 to buy the property for $9 million as privately owned housing for University of Michigan Flint students. The Crim Fitness Foundation attempted to buy the hotel as a fitness center, but the Institute of Basic Life Principles refused the Crim's offer as too low. Finally, in 2009, Uptown Reinvestment Corporation, utilizing a $27 million repayable grant from the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, bought the Riverfront Character Inn, which was vacant. Renamed the Riverfront Residece Hall, it was renovated into dormitories. In 2015, the Mott Foundation waived the grant, allowing Uptown Reinvestment to donate Riverfront Residence Hall to Riverbank Flint. So, again, these are rough drafts. They'll go through revisions before it comes out into the Lost Flint book. I'll have some more pieces that I come up with. In fact, I think the next ambitious plan, now this will be ambitious, the places lost to Water Street Pavilion.
Ooh,
and a
yeah.
lot of places were lost to make way for
Yeah, that whole area. Mhm.
Yes.
And where the
Along with
flat lot is.
or across Kerslake Street, the flat lot. And around the same time, a parking ramp was built along with the State of Michigan office building. So I'll work on that next, and when I get around to it, I'll talk about it here. So that's my presentation for this month. Check out on my Facebook page, Hidden History of Flint, for things I've come across or things I've written, and I thank you very much.
Yay, Gary!
Way to go!